Good evening. This is MJ from Linus Publications, and we're doing Trump's Daily. And this is for October 8th, and this is 2025, and this will be for Wednesday. Now, what do we have going on? Well, a little bit of the same is still keeping on going on. There has been no progress in the talks, and I haven't expected any. There may be some progress later in the week. We'll look at that in a little bit more detail tomorrow for Thursdays and for Fridays. And we still have Trump putting troops, and this is now other states' troops into states, which is sort of unheard of, especially without the approval or negotiations with the governor of that state. So there are quite a few things going on here, but we're going to try and concentrate on pretty much how he's feeling during the day and sort of try and get a gist of where he's heading with that. And so far, we've been pretty good at sort of identifying that, nope, he's not going anyplace close to making any negotiation, and it's been working. Next week, we also have another angle happening, the beginning of the week, which is a pretty important one, that is sort of challenging for him. And we'll talk about that nearing, maybe on for Thursdays. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow for Thursdays. Now, we don't have a lot to cover, which is why I'm rambling right now. We only have about 5, so let's get right to it. First one we have is Venus square Sun. Venus, approval, people liking you, your social, squaring the Sun, that's your identity. So this is pretty much, a minor, planet making an angle, but these go into, these are in effect for 2 days, sometimes more. In this case, what is it? He wants affection. He wants approval. Is he getting it? No, that's what the square is. So this is likely to have to do with a lot of things. Some of it is probably putting, troops into cities that are not asking for it. The fact of the shutdown. And this is really turning his polls very negative. And even though he is likely trying to move to a place where he doesn't have to deal with polls anymore, right now it's a problem. So if he's viewed this negatively, it could eventually force the GOP in Congress to do something. So let's look at the next piece we have, and that's Moon trying the ascendant. And that's happening very early in the morning, so around 1 a.m. And this is actually a feel-good type of angle. He feels like he's authentic. He's going to be at ease. He's at home in his own skin. He's receptive to things. But receptive when it comes to Trump is a little different than receptive is to other people. Okay? So he has a natural flow. So you could catch him in actually a good mood. So he feels like he has a connection to others. Next thing we have is Moon in conjunct the black moon, and that's Lilith. And this usually means some type of alternate path. In conjunct means you can't get there from here. So this is, in effect, he's reacting strongly. So it's bringing out his other side, and it could bring him out to try some other path that may or may not be better than the one he's on right now. This is indicating there's not likely to be a solution today, which I expected. He's going to be easy to be set off because this other side of him is coming out, and that other side is just, doesn't want to hear it. We also have Moon in conjunct Neptune, and this is happening at 10 a.m. Both of these, the in conjunct black moon and the in conjunct Neptune, are happening at around 10 a.m. So tomorrow morning is not likely to be a great time for him. With the moon in conjunct Neptune, he's not clear. There's very little clarity in what he's saying. What he thinks is not real, so he can't get there from here. So he's confused. He's, I don't want to say hallucinating, but he thinks things that are not real. Now, Neptune is sometimes associated with health, so this could indicate some issue with health. The moon tides is water, so it could be water retention, something like that. Now, later in the evening, around 8 p.m., we have Moon squaring Pluto. So this is a control issue. He doesn't feel he has control of the situation. And when that happens, he reacts strongly. So what does he try and do? He tries to get control. So a square is saying that you don't stop what you're trying. An inconjunct is you can't get there from here. You have to change things. Square is like it's just a struggle. You keep on trying and trying. So he wants control, and he's not getting it. And what is likely also adding to this is that the people are, he's falling in the polls, which means people don't think highly of what he's doing. So to wrap this up, is there any chance of a solution to the shutdown tomorrow? No, not likely. There may be something coming at the end of the week, but that, again, we'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. I also want to make note that he does have a good angle coming up on Friday and again on Monday. And if you didn't know, they're announcing the Nobel Peace Prize on Friday. So he could end up getting the prize. So don't be surprised. And the reason for that is to placate him. Not so much that he deserves it, but to placate him, because the countries that give out the prize may realize that they may be in the crosshairs if they don't give it to him. So yeah, politics has finally hit the Nobel Peace Prize. So have a good evening, and thank you for listening. Bye now.